of marginalization, that the Idoma people have not been given the rightful position in the affairs of Benue State. But in the history of the state, we have not had it this bad under the current leadership of Father Hassan Alia. It is on this note, I want to say it is a crying shame that Benue State has become the personal property of one man who allocates government positions to his family members and friends. A man whose calling as a priest is to preach unity, fairness, and equity. Governor Hassan Alia has, instead of uniting the state and making it an example as a man of God that he should be and expected to be, has elevated nepotism and hatred against the Idoma-speaking people of Benue State to a statecraft and made corruption an instrument to be glorified. It will interest you to know that Governor Alia, since assumption of office on May 29, 2003, has embarked on skilled appointment, as majority of the key appointments have gone to his Kian state constituency, a part of Vadekia local government where Father Alia comes from. It is even believed in Vadekia local government area where Father Alia comes from that he is marginalizing the majority of that local government. Let me, for the purpose of emphasis, reel out the following appointments which Father Alia has made in his constituency, in his Kia state constituency within Vadekia local government area. Number 1, Abba Emmanuel Tile, Auditor General of the state. Dennis Akura, Special Advisor, Bureau on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. Emmanuel Agema, Acting Chairman, Board of Internal Revenue from his Kia constituency. Grace Adagba, Chairman, Benue State Universal Basic Education Board, Subeb, from his Kia constituency in Vadekia local government. Raymond Asemaka, MD, Benue Investment and Property Company Limited, BIPC, from his Kia constituency. Emmanuel Chenge, Principal Private Secretary, from his Kia constituency. James Yopu, Executive Secretary, State Emergency Management Agency, from his Kia constituency. Stephen Numeve, State Project Coordinator, Rural Access and Cultural Marketing Project, from his Kia constituency. Tenengo Mende, Acting GM, Urban Development Board, from his Kia constituency. Professor Gabriel Akpe, DG, Bureau of Special Projects and Infrastructure, from his Kia constituency in Vadekia local government. Leonard Ajelo Viashima, Head of Benue State International Cooperation and Development Coordinating Unit, from his Kia constituency. Jonathan Aguese, Special Advisor, Poverty Alleviation, from his Kia State constituency. Isaac Akanga, Special Advisor, Local Government Market Coordination, from his Kia State constituency in Vadekia local government. Temve Aginde, Special Advisor, Politics and Community Engagement, from his Kia State constituency. Joseph Ha, Special Advisor on Internal Security, from his Kia State constituency. Fate Kaha Estofi, Senior Special Assistant on Culture, from his Kia constituency. Gwaza Ujamatu, SSA, Bureau Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, from his Kia State constituency. Julius Agbata, State Chairman, National Union of Road Transport Workers, appointed by the governor, first time in the history of Benue State for a governor to even be appointing the head of the Agboros, all from his Kia constituency. Now, this he has taken to Ole Kia constituency. Tell me, distinguished and fellow Nigerians, what is therefore left for the people of Zosi, the Idoma-speaking side, where I come from? The glaring nepotism in the appointment has attracted widespread condemnation from all segments of the state who have seen the development as a slap on democracy. But that has not bothered the governor in any way. Before Governor Alia came into office, there was a long-standing tradition of carrying all stakeholders, including the State Working Committee of the political party in power and party elders, in the process of selecting people to be part of the government, either as cabinet members or as other political office holders. Governor Alia has seen as rubbish that process which has always made things easy and acceptable to the people in a democracy. Though he's a reverend father, we wonder why a man who had no political platform to pursue his ambition now has total disregard for the party that gave him the space and grant to launch his political career. He's now operating a one-man show without carrying even the cabinet members that he has appointed into office. Today, as we speak, Christmas is 4 days away from here. Even members of his cabinet are hungry. It is indeed sad that the Governor Alia's disregard for the party leadership comes with total disdain. He openly claimed that he practically helped the APC to power in Benue State. Level of financial mafias going on in the administration of Governor Alia. Many of you have seen, you have read on the pages of newspaper, even recently Sahara reporters, how much Governor Alia, a man of God, has spent on his personal vehicles. Nobody from the state to this moment has disproved that. If this level of corruption under Father Alia is not checked, this can crumble the economy of Benue State in the near future. As lawmakers, we are aware that huge sums of money have been accrued to Benue State in form of federal allocations, palliatives, and other interventions for the Tinubu administration since Governor Alia assumed power. But his lack of respect for due process, transparency, and accountability is again a blow on the state resources. Sadly, Governor Alia has not told anyone what has accrued to the state in the past 6 months and how he has expended the funds. He has remained silent on what the state wage bill is and has also dodged any inquiry into the state internally generated revenue. Benue allocation has tremendously increased, but there is nothing to show for it. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in the middle of all this, the governor has been enmeshed in reckless spending and contract inflation. Even the prices of the refurbished buses, which he claimed to buy at over 3.5 billion naira as part of the money given to Benue State, following the removal of fuel subsidy as palliatives, were clearly inflated. We challenge him to come out clearly and disprove us. To give credence to that, he refused to tell the people how much each of the refurbished buses cost. Even the other items that were said to be given to the state by the federal government for distribution to the vulnerable to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal are suspected to have been diverted by his cronies. Governor Alia also approved a whooping 3 billion naira for the purchase of vehicles for himself and his cabinet members in an administration that rose to power, or what we can boldly describe, that rose to power with a promise to cut the cost of governance. The man has spent a mind-blowing 40 billion naira from sources on what we can boldly describe as frivolities without due process. The reckless mismanagement of funds meant for local government is another chapter that is worrisome and characteristic of Governor Alia. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I hereby wish to hand over the microphone to Honorable Achema Achado.
I want to align myself with all that has been said by our caucus leader, Senator Dr. Titus Zam, and my brother, Honorable Agbese. I only need to add that Father Alia has taken decisions without consulting us. I want to confirm that. And some of the decisions he has taken giving very, very bad name to us. One of them is a dissolution of local government councils, elected local government councils. Yes, the APC, the local government councils are PDP members. However, in governance, it is not just about party in all things we do. You need to do what is right. If the chairman had done anything wrong, what the governor is supposed to do is to prosecute. Why are they prosecuted? And in all our local governments, there is no project by any local government. Why local government councils in Benue State get an average of 150 million to 300 million monthly? I challenge the governor or anybody working for the governor to show me one project done by any local government in Benue State. There is no project. But we have a man of God who is the governor. Then is it not better to have a devil to be governor? So there are also interventions by the president. And Alia subscribes to himself for all these monies that the president has given, without crediting the president to have given these monies. So we are totally in support of all that has been read here. And we are in line with what the caucus chairman and Dr. Gbese. The other thing I need to add is that we in Gwe local government were worse off. In Gwe local government, there is no single appointment that Father Alia has made, not even a special advisor. Where I come from, we don't have a special advisor, we don't have a commissioner. But we had the 5th largest vote for APC, for President Tinubu in the last election in Benue State. We came 5th, but we have nothing. I feel aggrieved. Thank you.
Honorable Tese Ubo, I represent Kwando Shongo Federal Constituency of Benue State. Well, I just want to align myself with the views of our caucus leaders here and my distinguished and honorable colleagues on the sad situation that we found ourselves in Benue State. And I'll just give a little background. When we got elected into the House of Reps and the Senate, Mr. President Ahmed Bola Ahmed Tinubu invited the members of the National Assembly to a meeting in the presidency where we discussed areas of mutual cooperation and areas of harmony on how the National Assembly and the presidency could work harmoniously to bring development to Nigeria. Not just that, the president invited the entire National Assembly, including members of the PDP, to a meeting in the presidency where he spoke to us and created a harmony and sense of belonging for every member of the National Assembly. And this is what has transpired in the smooth running relationship between the executive arm of government and the legislature in Nigeria today. Mr. President also invited traditional rulers, captains of industry, and other aspects and other sectors of the Nigeria economy and social strata to discuss on the way forward. Unfortunately, in Benue State, since we were elected into power, the members of the National Assembly has not had the opportunity to have a forum with the governor to discuss areas of mutual benefits and areas of development on how members of the National Assembly can support Benue State and support his government to bring the much needed dividend of democracy to Benue State. It is unfortunate that personally I have tried several times to attract investments to Benue State, but unfortunately I have not had access to the governor, except on very rare occasions where he may, at his own wish, pick up calls from members of the National Assembly. And usually we are asked to liaise with some of his aides to have access to him. That means as members of the National Assembly, we don't have direct access to our governor. And many of us have been unable to partner with him in bringing some of the dividends of democracy that our people urgently need. And I feel that as a representative of my people of Kwando Shongo, if I cannot access the governor, then automatically my people in my constituency have been cut off from accessing the governor, because I'm a representative of the people. So I should have direct access to the governor to discuss issues of both national importance as they affect our country, Nigeria, and to discuss issues that concern my people of Kwando Shongo. But this has been completely lacking in Benue State so far. And that is why you see the continuous outcry by both stakeholders, elders, party chieftains, women, youths, cut across the entire Benue State. It has become a case of divide and rule in Benue State, and this is quite unfortunate. We are very sad about this. This is not how we expected it to be. This is not what we envisaged when we all campaigned and shouted, "Yes, Father," and during the campaign trail. And today, it is difficult for us to even shout the "Yes, Father" that we all so gloriously screamed during the campaign season. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, I just want to encourage us to take these issues very seriously, and we hope that the presidency and our party will look into the issue of Benue State so that our people at this auspicious time in Nigeria will benefit from the government of APC at the federal level, at the state level, and even at the local government level. Thank you very much.
We'll start with channels. and then my colleagues will also handle others. Should I leave behind any issue? Let me start with the question about Godfather, Godson crisis in Benue. I did not, in any part of my press statement, imply or state that there is a problem between the Secretary to the federal government and the governor of Benue State. Rather, I said he has been pleading with us as stakeholders who are not carried along to be patient with the governor. Read my statement again. I did not, neither did anyone here say Governor Alia and Senator Dr. George Akume have issues. Nobody said so. Rather, we said the SGF is pleading that we should give Father Alia more time. But the more we wait, the more emboldened the governor has become to do the wrong thing. So I think that question you asked does not fall in line with what we have said and written down and read out here. So somebody asked, what efforts have we made to get to the governor to iron out things? Even that, we say the man does not even take our telephone calls. He has never for once invited us, and this statement has been adumbrated eloquently by the Chungis Ugbo, when he said, unlike the presidency, when Tinubu on assumption of duty called us, and I bear testimony to that. President Tinubu invited all members of the National Assembly to a sit-down in the villa where we all resolved to work together. That has not been replicated in Benue State. And that's why we are saying the man does not have any iota of respect on members of the National Assembly. And then somebody asks, are we calling for state of emergency? We say Mr. President should intervene before this man destroys APC. President Tinubu is not just the executive head of this country, he is also the head of the party. And so, if there are issues, political issues in the state, being the president of this country and leader of the party, he has a role to play. And that's the reason why we even drew his attention to it by saying he should come out and call Governor Alia to order. Calling somebody to order does not amount to a declaration of state of emergency. Does it? It does not. Then, no mention was made of development. I really don't know. We have even said the man does not have a developmental agenda. If he has any, we would know. And we say the man is ruling the state as it pleases him. As members of the National Assembly all over the country, we are supposed to be major stakeholders in the running of Benue State, in the running of our state. We should be able to know that this is the program, this is what the man wants to do. There is no such development blueprint on the table. So what do? We even mention it here. So, gentlemen, I think what we have said here explains exactly the state of affairs at home. But I think my friend,
development which you mentioned, I said in my local government of Way East, the average allocation Way East local government gets is 200 million naira a month. There is no borehole dug by this present administration. I'm talking of borehole. No borehole. No culvert. If there is any culvert that is being done by this local government administration in Gwe local government, I will take my resignation from the National Assembly. There is virtually nothing. With all the money that is received by my local government, the money is taken away and it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
Thank you very much. Going on in Rivers State looks like what is going on in Benue State. And I want to be emphatically clear about that. It looks very, very similar. But I can tell you that whatever is going on in Rivers State between Simi Fubara and Wike will be compared to a case of sainthood and evil. Whatever is going on, I want to consider that Simi Fubara is a saint, in the sense that to some large extent he was part of the system. You people have mentioned it here. And today, as a caucus, we have agreed because it was stated clearly and established here in the National Assembly that if you say the truth, you will die. If you don't say the truth, you will still die. So we will say the truth today for Nigerians to hear, and so that we will die peacefully. Now, before Alia constituted his state executive council, he gave the impression of a man that was in a hurry to develop the state. Quickly, he went into the award of contracts even without due process when there was no state executive council. We thought it was the action of a man that was in a hurry to develop the state. But in a period of 100 years into his administration, he was not able to address the people of Benue State, because after all the award and the money taken from the coffers of the state, there was no single thing on ground to point as to what Alia has done for the state. We challenge him. We have facts and figures, and we are using this opportunity to challenge him to also open the books for Nigerians and the Benue people to see. And you see clearly that the state is in a total state of collapse, and our finances are being frittered away. Today, if you go to Gusape, you go to Metama, houses have been bought by people before May 29 who have no bank account. They are part and parcel of the system today in Benue State. We know them, we know where these houses are. Tomorrow, we can take you press people to these houses. Let Nigerians know the owners of these houses and how they came about this wealth. I'll stop here for now.
Thank you. These are press conferences about the people and then development. I represent Makurdi Guma Federal Constituency in Benue State. I'm sure most of you are aware that Makurdi Guma is the epicenter of banditry and Fulani herdsmen crisis. 80% of our people are in IDPs. Makurdi Guma, Gwegwe West, where my senator come from, and Logu, Uku, Kwande, where my senator represents, Senator Dende represent. The basis for which these people voted for Father Alia was his promise that after his election that they will go home. As I speak to you, most of these people are still in IDPs. Father Alia has never responded to my call when security issues occur, when killings by headsmen occur in my area. No single phone call. We made efforts to speak to him as a caucus a day after his inauguration. He said he will do that the following week. It's been 6 months. We represent our people. We speak to them. We know their challenges. The only way the governor will know what is happening, first, for instance, in my council ward, is when he speaks to me. Because I speak to my people directly. I provide for them. That is why I was able to convince them to vote for him. He doesn't know anybody from my local government. And Alia won my local government in Guma when we had a sitting governor from my local government. He won that local government. So to suggest that he somehow, it's popularity that gave him votes, it's a lie. In my own election, I couldn't even go home. My election and President Tinubu's election, I couldn't go home for my election. It was his election that I had to go home and convince my people to vote for him. Benue is today run like a parish. Of course, we have a Reverend Father, but Benue is different. Benue is not a parish. It's not supposed to be run like a parish. The man came and increased his personal approval from 100 million from the other governor, 50 million, to 250 million. For 3 months, he didn't have commissioners. He was making approvals, dividing them, and awarding contracts. There is nothing to show for in Benue State in terms of infrastructure. The only benefits of democracy we have seen in the past 6 months is palliatives that the federal government under President Tinubu has given. You go to Benue, you see Benue Links buses. Those are even old buses that the governor used the money of palliatives to buy. It's not from Benue covers. He said he has frozen the account of Benue State for the past 6 months because the former government issued check. That's laughable. Most of you know how approvals and checks works in a government system. Nobody can go and present a check without confirmation from the issuing authority. Today, as I speak to you, all the commissioners, all the ministries don't have overhead. You can find out from his appointees. There's no overhead. When he needs something, he calls the bank manager to open the account for a few hours. He takes out money, and then he freezes the account again. That's what is happening in Benue State. That is how do we run parishes. That is not governance. Do you understand? This is what is happening. There is no development anywhere in Benue. Nowhere. So tell me, we are here today on behalf of our people because we convinced them to vote for APC. That's why they voted. I speak as a coordinator of Mr. President during the primaries. Benue delivered Mr. President during the primaries 96%. I was coordinating Benue State during that time. And I know that people of Benue love APC. But what they have got in terms of governor is a terrible situation. Every APC person that voted Alia is regretting in Benue State today. I must tell you that. Is that bad? The security agencies led by Operation Wildstro, who are posted in our villages to provide security for our people, don't have interventions, don't have time. The governor doesn't listen to any one of them, even when they go to see him. If you go to see a governor, you will wait for 3-4 hours. And what they will say, he's praying. Okay? That's what's happening in Benue today. You can find out for yourselves. Is that bad? Okay? We want to appreciate you people for taking time to listen to us. We will continue to say this. We are appealing to the president of our country to intervene in Benue State. Today, there is no governance going on in Benue. And our national chairman, His Excellency Governor Ganduje, needs to step up. APC is fast losing ground in Benue because of the bad governance going. Lastly, the chairman of my local government, the caretaker chairman of my local government, is a PDP person who worked against us during the elections. PDP member who worked against us during the election is now the caretaker chairman in my local government. I was not consulted at all as a member of the House of Reps representing that local government. That's what's going on in Benue. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, my dear sister, you were here when I responded to the poser as to whether the fight is between a godson and a godfather. What did I say? I said it's not about godfather and godson. At our level as members of the National Assembly, hello, you're not listening. Are we not qualified to be giving attention without recourse to the SGF? Did we say the SGF asked us to conduct any retreat? As senators, as House of Rep members in every state of this country, are we not supposed to be carried along in the running of affairs in our states? We are telling you that the SGF, as the leader of the party in the state, has pleaded that we should be patient, but we lost our patience after waiting for 6 months. And we're giving you indices of what misgovernance Governor Alia is perpetrating in Benue State. So why do you always try to bring in the SGF? I think that question has been overblown and is needless. Then you say we should involve Toji and Ochidoma when these revered rulers are asked to be apolitical. I don't think this is the time to tell. We have a duty as elected representatives. We came on the same ballot paper with Governor Alia. If he's not doing us a right, we have a right to complain. And the president of this country is also a politician. So we are talking to him as the leader of the party in this country. We are federal lawmakers. We're not state assembly members. Our immediate leadership here is the president of this country. And that is our channel of communication. Thank you.